Hey, Lakerland. Let's talk about this trade. Um, First and foremost, though, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comment in the box below, and hit that bell for notifications. So, in case you haven't heard, yesterday the Lakers ended up trading Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance Jr. to Cleveland for Isaiah Thomas and Channing Frye with a protected first round pick. So here's my thoughts. Personally, I think the Lakers and the Cavs won on this. I think this was a picture perfect deal for both teams. So let me explain this to you. There's several reasons why. First and foremost, the Lakers are not in the playoff picture as of right now. Now, there's still roughly 30 games left, and the Lakers are winners of the last 8 home games. They've won 4 in a row without Lonzo. They won last night without Clarkson and Nance. So let's go over a few things that this trade does and how the Lakers become better because of it. So I made a list. Okay, first and foremost, the number one thing is, let's remember Lonzo Ball. He could move to shooting guard. And I know a lot of people are going to say, but keep in mind, he was already willing to play with D'Angelo Russell. Okay, he was willing to play at shooting guard with Russell, or vice versa. So he is one of the most unselfish players in the game, and he'll do whatever it takes to win. Okay, so imagine now your starting 5. You have Isaiah Thomas as your point guard, Lonzo Ball as your shooting guard. You have Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle, and Brook Lopez. Now, the thing to remember is Isaiah Thomas could literally feed off of Lonzo Ball. Okay, Lonzo is a guy that's going to find his players open. He's basically a point guard at any position you put him in. This lineup would give the Lakers 4 potential point guards on the court at the same time, with Isaiah, Lonzo, Ingram, and Randle all capable of playing beginning, transition, and finishing. So let's go down my list. The second reason is, because Larry Nance Jr. was traded, this opened the door for Julius Randle to be solidified as the Lakers' starting power forward. It raises real question on whether or not the Lakers are even willing to let Randle go at this point, since he is a double-digit rebounding machine, and he does play point forward, much like Draymond Green. He fits the Lakers roster and what we want to do to a T. So having him in the starting lineup immediately improves your rebounding for your starters, it improves your passing as the starters, and it improves your points as starters. Next is Isaiah is a better scorer than Clarkson. He's a way better three-point shooter than Clarkson. And he is vastly on a different realm free throw shooter than anyone on the Lakers. So having Isaiah Thomas on your team means you got a guy that's going to slash to the hoop, who's not afraid of contact, and who can draw fouls. But on top of that, he finishes by making the free throw shots. We've all seen the Lakers struggle at free throw shooting. A guy like Isaiah Thomas coming into the mix, as well as Channing Frye, both increase your three-point shooting and your free throw shooting. 2 elements that we want to increase desperately. Okay. Now, honestly, Channing Frye, in my opinion, is a far more balanced player than Larry Nance. Larry Nance is a good defender. He was getting better at rebounding, but let's face it, he's a dunk master. People show up because they want to see him dunk. Channing Frye can give you the same amount of rebounds and maybe even a little bit more. He can give you the similar style of defense. If you can give him more than 17 minutes a game, Channing Frye is going to dominate the three-point line. He's way better than at the free throw line than any center on our roster. And he can play power forward as well. So right off the bat, you have Randall, Lopez, Kazuma, Frye, who are all right there ready to play 4 and 5. Okay, so now, here's another reason why. Okay, Isaiah Thomas has never been on an incredibly defensive team. One of the flaws in his game is the lack of defense. So you had to put him on teams or lineups where they have defenders who can make up for his flaws. Now, when you look at the Lakers, we have KCP, Caldwell Pope. We have Hart, who are both becoming dynamic defenders. Corey Brewer, who's always been an outstanding defender. Randall, Lopez. These guys are all really good defenders. Even Lonzo Ball is turning out to be a really good defender. So we have the players around him that can make up for that defensive woes. So when you got guys that can create steals, block shots, create offensive transition, who can initiate the drives, and then you get a guy that can finish at the hoop, like Isaiah, that's a picture perfect, meeting there. Now, this trade also gives the Lakers mad cap space, so they can still go after 2-star free agents. Okay, it gives them an additional first-round pick, which they didn't have. But Isaiah Thomas could potentially come back for a mediocre contract and play for one more season in order to get the big bucks. That's also a big possibility. If things go well for the remainder of this season and they come close to the playoffs or make the playoffs, expect Isaiah to be willing to stick around to see this thing through, especially if we can get 1 or 2 more big free agents. Now, having an additional first-round pick, having the second-round pick from Denver, gives the Lakers an opportunity to continue their youth movement. Okay, one or both of these players could end up in the D-League for a season, and they could both end up thriving before we really need them. So this is, again, great for our future to have that first-round pick as well as that second-round pick. And keep in mind, Lou Dang's contract is coming up close to an end soon, too, and it's almost over, or we can almost afford to stretch and waive him, which would give us even more space to bring in maybe a potential 2 superstars and bring back some of our own. Okay? Now, as I stated, he fits the youth movement. Isaiah Thomas fits the youth movement. He gives the Lakers the ability to keep Randall, okay, and to make a lot of these other moves. But, keep in mind, Isaiah Thomas is 1 year away from being an MVP candidate. He's 1 year outside of being an all-star on the East. This guy is 1 year removed from being a superstar. Okay? And he went to a team where his skills didn't fit. Point blank and simple. His skills fit on this Lakers team. It's up to the coaching staff on whether they can make it gel. But if they make this gel, the Lakers have the potential to win 15 out of the next 30. To win maybe even 20 out of the next 30. and make a run for a playoff. Okay, they would then have a superstar on their roster to go with Lonzo and Ingram, Randall, Lopez. That's a solid team. KCP, Brewer, Hart, all of these guys are coming on massively, and this youth movement is finally starting to take notice. We're at 22 wins right now, before Fry and Isaiah even take the court. So I'm willing to bet we can win at least half of our remaining games and make a run for the playoffs. That's my thought. Okay, and the final reason why this works is because the Lakers will get somebody who is inspired to beat their biggest rival. Every time the Lakers go face Boston, you will have a point guard in Isaiah Thomas who is going to elevate his game just to prove to the Celtics that they should have never traded them. And if he should happen to go on and win a title in LA before Boston can beat Golden State, Toronto, or Cleveland, if Isaiah can somehow take that Lakers team to the next level, suddenly Isaiah Thomas is a star, and he could very well be the Babe Ruth that Boston let go. Again, that's my thought. I'd love to hear yours. Please comment in the box below. Hit that bell for notifications. If you haven't already, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Go Lakers. Peace. Duncan out.